I've just stopped for the first time. I think I've got about 50 miles left, so probably an hour or so. About an hour, I reckon, before I get there. But I've had to set off at like sunrise to get here. It's like a steady 180 mile. So quick coffee and then jump back on road and see where we get from there. I will say, I don't think I've ever driven the length of the A1 in my entire life, but it was totally worth it to see some tackle that were in this car park. And I can't pretend that I didn't get underneath this F100 and, you know, get a good old perv on what suspension it got underneath it. This is realistically how I'm gonna have mine sat when I get around to it. The one thing I don't like about every F100 that's slammed is for some reason they're always sat with nose up. Looking at this one, I think it's because the headers sit on the floor. If that's the case, I'll have to raise the engine. So I actually don't have any footage from inside the swap meet. I won't lie to you, it was just a social event where I got to hang out with my mate Loz and his family. It were absolutely chock-a-block as well, and pulling a camera out and trying to squeeze through people with it and all that sort of stuff just don't feel right to me. But spread out across the car park had probably some of the best cars I've ever seen in the UK. Like, look, that's a real judge. Come on. I've got to have a quick walk around this Falcon later on, and honestly, the engine in it's flawless. Everything here just had absolute money spent on it. And I don't think I've ever seen as many Chargers in the UK in one place. They were like dog shit. They were absolutely everywhere. So this is kind of an era that I know less about, but I appreciate the cars more. There's just something about the styling that, yeah, stuff that slams still looks good. Stuff that's stock still looks good. They're just great regardless. I absolutely adore this sort of stuff. Different generation, but I think that's why I got into stuff like Beetles, because just big wheel arches, big curves and lines and everything, they looked ace. This truck just caught my attention for all of its DIY kind of paintwork that it's had done. I proper love weird scalloping and styling from kind of the 70s, and this is that DIY equivalent of it. It's just the epitome of, I wanted something to look better than what it is, so I'm just going to give it a go. Again, another Charger, but it's original paint and it's an RT. Like, again, when do you see this in England? Especially in North. This is something that I think you can only get probably in South. I just don't think this happens where I live. On Ufdometer, this thing's just absolutely pegged. You know, it's at 10. It's an absolute oof. Wrap up on a really nice day. Honestly, it was totally worth the really long, boring drive to the south. The queues to get in and everything, that stuff's a little bit, you know, shitty. But to be fair, it's the first event at year and everyone were excited to be there. That's why there was so much good stuff there. My advice to you is get your project done now. Weather's better, we can all start enjoying them, can't we? Appreciate you watching, guys. Love ya.